Welcome to the Environmental Health Learn to Earn program, a transformative initiative by Actuate Biomedicine. This program is designed to tackle the pressing environmental challenges faced by communities, especially in Kenya. Our 8-week program combines 2 physical classes and 6 online classes, offered every 2 months. We educate and empower participants by incentivizing their active involvement with Actuate tokens. Our diverse group includes university students and global environmental health community members, creating a dynamic and inclusive learning environment. Communities worldwide face severe issues such as pollution, inadequate access to clean water, and a lack of environmental awareness. These problems lead to pollution from industrial emissions and improper waste disposal, lack of safe drinking water, causing waterborne diseases like cholera and dysentery, unsustainable practices and habitat destruction due to insufficient environmental consciousness. Our program aims to address these issues through 4 main goals: educating participants on the importance of environmental health, building a cohesive global community of environmental activists, promoting sustainable practices at individual, family, and community levels, facilitating practical engagement through activities like tree planting. For individuals, particularly mothers and fathers, environmental health is crucial. It ensures clean air, safe water, and healthy living conditions, essential for maternal health and child development. Families benefit from cleaner surroundings that reduce disease incidence and promote healthier living conditions. A healthy environment supports better pregnancy outcomes and child development. Communities experience improved quality of life and reduced healthcare costs through sustainable practices. Engaging in environmental health fosters collective responsibility and sustainable living. At a national level, a healthy environment supports economic growth by minimizing healthcare expenses and increasing productivity. Eco-health practices strengthen national resilience, ensuring food security and biodiversity preservation. The Environmental Health Learn to Earn program by Actuate Biomedicine is more than just education. It's a movement. By promoting sustainable practices and a comprehensive understanding of environmental issues, we create a ripple effect of positive change, leading to healthier individuals, families, communities, and nations. Join us in fostering a sustainable future. Together, we can make a difference. Welcome to the Environmental Health Learn to Earn program, a transformative initiative by Actuate Biomedicine. This program is designed to tackle the pressing environmental challenges faced by communities, especially in Kenya. Our 8-week program combines 2 physical classes and 6 online classes, offered every 2 months. We educate and empower participants by incentivizing their active involvement with Actuate tokens. Our diverse group includes university students and global environmental health community members, creating a dynamic and inclusive learning environment. Communities worldwide face severe issues such as pollution, inadequate access to clean water, and a lack of environmental awareness. These problems lead to pollution from industrial emissions and improper waste disposal, lack of safe drinking water, causing waterborne diseases like cholera and dysentery, unsustainable practices and habitat destruction due to insufficient environmental consciousness. Our program aims to address these issues through 4 main goals: educating participants on the importance of environmental health, building a cohesive global community of environmental activists, promoting sustainable practices at individual, family, and community levels, facilitating practical engagement through activities like tree planting. For individuals, particularly mothers and fathers, environmental health is crucial. It ensures clean air, safe water, and healthy living conditions, essential for maternal health and child development. Families benefit from cleaner surroundings that reduce disease incidence and promote healthier living conditions. A healthy environment supports better pregnancy outcomes and child development. Communities experience improved quality of life and reduced healthcare costs through sustainable practices. Engaging in environmental health fosters collective responsibility and sustainable living. At a national level, a healthy environment supports economic growth by minimizing healthcare expenses and increasing productivity. Eco-health practices strengthen national resilience, ensuring food security and biodiversity preservation. The Environmental Health Learn to Earn program by Actuate Biomedicine is more than just education. It's a movement. By promoting sustainable practices and a comprehensive understanding of environmental issues, we create a ripple effect of positive change, leading to healthier individuals, families, communities, and nations. Join us in fostering a sustainable future. Together, we can make a difference. Welcome to the Environmental Health Learn to Earn program, a transformative initiative by Actuate Biomedicine. This program is designed to tackle the pressing environmental challenges faced by communities, especially in Kenya. Our 8-week program combines 2 physical classes and 6 online classes, offered every 2 months. We educate and empower participants by incentivizing their active involvement with Actuate tokens. Our diverse group includes university students and global environmental health community members, creating a dynamic and inclusive learning environment. Communities worldwide face severe issues such as pollution, inadequate access to clean water, and a lack of environmental awareness. These problems lead to pollution from industrial emissions and improper waste disposal, lack of safe drinking water, causing waterborne diseases like cholera and dysentery, unsustainable practices and habitat destruction due to insufficient environmental consciousness. Our program aims
Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry for the 1 minute lateness. I was trying to get a hold of um my topic master for today. So, welcome to our environmental health class, where we are having an 8-week program of different guest speakers from different expertise in the environmental health field, which they are supposed to take us through all the they're going to take us through all what they do in their regular day-to-day work. So so today's order of learning, we are going to have a presentation by Ruth Kiristia, which is our guest speaker for today. She is a wildlife conservative expert. And then after that, we're going to have insights and commentaries by our CEO, Dr. Macharia. And then after that, we're going to have an interactive session. But while we are having a discussion with Mrs. Ruth Kiristia, we shall be still having an interactive session where you can still ask for clarification whenever need be, so that it can be very engaging. So we're going to have an interactive session. And then following the interactive session and the commentaries by Dr. Macharia, we shall be having summit announcements by Augustine Narokwe, where he'll be taking us through our December Nairobi Summit, the partners we have made so far, and he'll be taking us through how you can be an attendee to our summit on a free pass basis, which we have recently introduced to our program. And then we shall be having a signing of the attendance form, as this is a learn to earn program, which you get a token for all the classes you have attended so far. At the end of the month, we allocate tokens for the classes attended. So as I have communicated with our topic master, she's saying she's setting up her workstation now. So if we can be allowed to give her a minute while she sets up her workstation, please, that would be very helpful. Please allow her an allowance of 2 minutes while she sets up her workstation.
All right. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Becca. Okay, can you hear me, Becca?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. You said her name is Ruth Kerosia.
Yeah, Ruth Garcia, yes.
Okay, and
she's the wildlife conservative expert.
say that again. Wildlife conservative. What conservative?
Wildlife conservative expert.
Wildlife.
Yeah.
Okay, wildlife conservative expert. Awesome. Yeah, that is a subject I know nothing about, but I'm so glad to learn.
Yeah, which is why she's gonna take us through the program so that we can learn more, because I'm also not very versed in the wildlife sector, so I'm really eager to learn about that as well, because I have a passion for wildlife, so I'm really eager to learn that as well. Let us give her 1 more minute.
All right. I've lived in 2 places that's got lots of wildlife. One is in Laikipia West. We have elephants coming to our homes. They destroy houses. I don't know who is wrong, who is on the wrong side, whether it's the human beings who are invading the elephants' places, or is elephants that are invading the places that people live. I think that's what we're going to learn today. Elephants are really bad news, but to them, there's nothing bad about what they're doing. If the elephants walk across your shamba, it's like a tractor has come through the shamba. So everything you have planted there is uprooted, all of it. And it's not only the plants themselves, even the fences that you have built to prevent animals from coming into your piece of land. Elephants don't care about your barbed wire; they just walk through it like it is not there. Yeah, even now, if you put electricity, it's almost 6 p.m. 8 notifications. You see something elephants do? When you put electric current on your fence, they come and then you have wooden posts. They know that wood does not conduct electricity. An elephant will come and put his foot on the wooden posts, at the top of the wooden posts. So the wooden posts will just fall down slowly, and the entire electrical wire snaps out, and then they walk through it. So they actually know. They are so clever. That's the elephants for you. They're too clever. So human beings, stay out of elephants' pathways, because they're going to walk into everything you do. Now, if you plant sugarcane, they love sugarcane. If you plant banana, they love banana trees, or even pawpaw. They are attracted to certain plants. They come and eat. So I think that is anti-conservative behavior, where people encroach elephants' living places, which is what you find in when you have all this population growth. Now, Makazi Africa posted a message the other day saying that Africa population will double by 2050. Where are those elephants going to go? Yeah, so that is Laikipia. Also, Laikipia has got many other animals, like the buffaloes, which are also quite dangerous. Don't be caught by a buffalo alone. Finish you off. Yeah. So there's a lot of work that we need to think about conservation because of this population boom. I don't even think it's a boom. The population has been growing on a continuous basis. Human beings encroaching in the wildlife habitations or habitats. Yeah, the other place that we have all these animals is Nairobi. Yeah, Nairobi, Magadi Road out there. It's baboons. I mean, there's 7 types of monkeys I found along Magadi Road. 7 types. Yeah, some small ones, some of them less than small, a little big, bigger, biggest. And they come to your house as if you have a party. Yeah, you can't do anything. You can't plant anything in your compound that they're not going to enjoy eating. They eat even flowers. That is something funny about monkeys. Yeah, they eat cabbages, spinach, sukuma wiki. Well, really, they are not eating them; they just destroy them. So you cannot do some what's called urban farming agriculture in the city. So in some people try to poison them, so to scare the monkeys from coming into their homesteads. Other people are trying to beat them with arrows or with slingshots. You know slingshots? Yeah, they use slingshots for fighting monkeys. So they chase them away from the compound. Now, this place in Karen, for example, next to a Gulwani forest. And what is now? Who is, because the forest itself was already there before the human being came to put up nice living quarters. They're putting up nice houses in the place of monkeys and leopards and things like that. What should we do about that? And you see, Nairobi now is that's bordering the national park. Sometimes you get lions coming out. So there's all this, you could say, the tension between the animals and humans. Humans trying to fight to beat the animals or to encroach the animals' living spaces. Yeah.
Excuse me, Doc.
Yes.
She's in. She was able to connect with her phone instead. So meanwhile, I'll just introduce her. She'll start talking until she set up her laptop if she's trying to present. So welcome, Ruth.
Awesome.
Ruth, you can talk if you're able to. Please let me know.
I'm able. So are you hearing me, guys?
Yes, you can present the work you do, and when you're done, we can now engage in an interactive session.
Very nice. Thank you for welcoming me once again. I'm Ruth Kerosia, passionate about wildlife management. And also I've heard you have been talking about human-wildlife conflicts. That's what I've captured. Sorry for being late. Still fixing up my laptop. So I'll look forward talking and engaging on how we'll be discussing about the human-wildlife conflicts and what mitigations will we put across to help at the moment. So at this time, I need to touch about a few things about environmental health, how wildlife connects with environmental health, and how can human being go hand in or connect with wildlife so that then with the environmental. At the moment, on my bio, that's my bio in I was dealing along the coastline mostly. So along the coastline, I was just dealing along the marine specifically. Yeah, marine. So I'll talk more about more of the marine and more of the plants and yeah, that's what I'll be talking about. Then we'll discuss more of the the human wildlife conflicts, give out suggestions or some mitigations on how you'll be dealing with that problem. So yeah, we can now start. As I'm fixing my laptop because it's giving me headache. So Linda, shall we continue with the other guests as I'm trying to fix out my laptop? Kindly.
You, like I mentioned before, you were supposed to be our guest speaker for today.
Yeah.
So the
I know.
presentation was
So
presentation was on you, and then we make commentaries afterwards.
So I'm still fixing my laptop, and also I've invited some of my colleagues who will be helping me. So yeah, we'll be in large number because I know questions will flow, which I need someone to answer. If it's based on marine or terrestrial side, you'll get fully sorted out.
May I ask how many more minutes do you require?
A few, like 2 to 3
Give or
minutes.
take 2 to 3 minutes. I think we can accommodate 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me check out the ones which I invited if they're ready, so that when we start, we won't be having a commotion.
All right, no problem. We can accommodate like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if anyone has any commentaries or questions about the Actuate Summit and everything, you can feel free to ask.
Yeah. They can feel free to ask because I'm still looking forward to connect with you guys.
So regarding the summit, the free pass, let me just make one announcement. The free pass is easy to get. You use your Actuate tokens, about 5 Actuate token. You get BNB and create a liquidity pool. When you create a liquidity pool, you have an NFT number. The process for creating a liquidity pool is easy, straightforward. We have over the past 1 year, we have gone over this process many times, more than 50 times, showing you how to create a liquid pool. So if you still do not know how to create a liquid pool, there's a video on our website. Go to our website, www.actuate.bio. And from that you go to the top right navigation bar, navigation bar on the right, where there's home, about, and you see the help page, help. Click on help. In help page, you will see a link on how to create a liquid pool. So you're going to get step-by-step basis. Now, here is the basic steps. 1, you need to have a wallet. You cannot have a liquid pool without a wallet. And we have said the wallet is the gateway to entering into the blockchain. So we are saying that everyone coming to the summit must have a wallet. For example, because why would you even want to participate in a blockchain summit without a wallet? Is like going to a party naked? No, you want to have a wallet. Okay, then the wallets. Two kinds. We recommend. But you can put in a wallet you like, MetaMask or Trust Wallet. Those are good. And the basics of the wallet. You keep the passphrase safe. You don't show it to anybody. It's your secret. The passphrase is your gateway to the blockchain, and the blockchain is your trust. It's your money. That's why you want a trust wallet. You do not want anyone knowing that passphrase except you. But because you can forget, it's also called a recovery phrase. You could lose your phone or your device. Keep that passphrase very safe so that you can always use it to recover. That means you write it down. Don't save it or in your device, or don't save it in your Gmail or your Google Drive. Now, when you save it on Google Drive, you are exposing it to the internet. And you know who lives there? There are people called hackers, and they can hack into your wallet. Okay, so that's it. And of course, they're going to steal your assets. Once you have the wallet, go to PancakeSwap. You will know, you find the instruction how to get to PancakeSwap and obtain Actuate tokens if you don't have some already. But if you have some already, that's okay. Then you also get BNB to create a liquidity pool. A liquidity pool requires you to have a pair of tokens. It's not just BNB, you can use any pair of tokens. For example, you can get Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever. So who's that? Someone needs to mute himself. Okay. So once you have that, you now create a liquidity pool, and liquidity pool is going to give you an NFT number. Now that NFT number is your admission ticket to the summit. So the summit itself has gained severe momentum. Now the interest in the summit is that fever pitch. When you say fever pitch, it has raised the temperature to more than 37 degrees, which is the body temperature. There's a lot of interest from different professionals from all over the world, all over, you could say, all type of professions. Because remember, this summit itself is about economic freedom. Economic freedom. That means, how do you make money in your own terms, instead of that money being dictated upon by others? And you're talking about using decentralized finance. And I'm glad today we're talking about the human-animal conflict. You know where that conflict comes from? It comes from people looking for money so that they can provide for themselves. Food and shelter. Food and shelter is the primary source of human-animal conflict. Why would people want to build houses in places where animals live? They're trying to make shelter. Or even why would they encroach the animal kingdom? It's because they are looking for food. People look for food, they go to the animal kingdom to hunt animals, to kill them so they can eat them. Or they go to clear forests where animals live so they can actually do what? They can plant crops for their own subsistence. So that is the main source of human-animal conflict. And I believe that with decentralized finance, we're now going to be able to have a sustainable way of addressing the human-animal conflict, that we can coexist with animals. Instead of living in conflict with animals, we live happily ever after. But that cannot happen unless we figure out this thing called decentralized finance. So the answer to the human-animal conflict is in decentralized finance. That means that giving people economic freedom, the freedom to earn money and to have the value of the work that they do represented in the marketplace on every minute-by-minute basis. And that is only possible on the blockchain. That is why even earning that NFT number, creating that NFT number is absolutely necessary for you to understand the solution of the human-animal conflict. And so it's not even necessary for you to come to the summit if you don't understand that, because that's what the summit is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, that NFT number is what the summit is all about. So if you do not understand it, it's going to be very, very difficult for you even to copy the conversation going on there. So to save yourself from severe anguish or angst.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, she's ready. She's ready now, and she has her colleagues in the meeting.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. Get the NFT number, and so we can solve the human-animal conflict. Yeah, back to you.
Okay. Ruth, welcome to the meeting, and please present your your work to the group. Welcome, Ruth. Please unmute yourself.
Hey, sorry for that. Thank you. I want to introduce my colleague Emmanuel Oganda. If you're in, kindly say hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Mhm.
So that's my colleague. And there's another one who is dealing with marine, but he hasn't joined us in that, Peter Musila. But for now, we are going with Emmanuel. So, Emmanuel, this is our field. Let's go. I've seen the topic today is all about the wildlife conflict, human wildlife conflict, of which it's a big threat to us human mostly. And also, if we go to another side, it's a conflict. It's also a big threat to the wildlife, to our wildlife animals also. So we won't be unfair to animals. So we need to participate in both, but also we need to look into humans, because we are the ones who are suffering most. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Emmanuel, let's start by so let's start first with the environmental human sorry for that. Let's start with the sustainable environmental practices, which we should be keep into intact. Then we'll go with the human wildlife conflict. Is that okay? Is that okay with that? We start with the sustainability of environmental health, with where wildlife is counted in. Then we go with the human wildlife conflict.
That is quite in order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go. Let's start with sustainability about. Let's start with land. The land itself. So that is the trees and everything which is on land. Then we go to animals, where we'll go. We'll yeah, how we will do it. So we start of which, when we start with land, it engages as humans. So first we have this issue of forestry, whereby trees are being cut down by us humans. So first thing, if we want to keep our environment healthy, we need to do the reforestation and afforestation by planting many trees. That's why we have got this international holiday of wild tree planting day, because of and most of the trees which are being cut down are the indigenous trees. And those indigenous trees, mostly they are medicinal. So, and they're being cut down due to some people are cutting down due to economic benefits, of which charcoal and everything. But we do advise people to, when you have cut a tree, if it's one, it's better you plant 10 of them to replace that one. So along the coastline, what I was doing mostly is planting trees. If you have viewed my profile, I was in coastline, and mostly I was dealing with trees mostly. I don't know if I've updated it. So along the coastline, we were planting the mangroves, of which they were serving a very huge thing or a very huge importance to our ecosystem, mostly with the marine life. So, one way we were not doing it like an organization, but we were doing it with the community. And I've worked with so many communities, and I love the way they were collaborating with me or with the organization. So by engaging the community, it helps us to educate or to give them some knowledge on why we are doing this. That's why the community comes in. And also not the community only, even the young children. Yeah, for the schools, we have been going around educating them the importance of trees in our lives and why we are always planting trees. And also as for me, I believe that when I've just educated a child while she's young, she's grown with that knowledge. And mostly believe that whenever a kid goes to tell the parent what he or she is being taught, the parent will take it seriously, because that's a new thing which the child has gained and the parent has never done that. So the parent will learn from the child. So most of that this is where education and awareness comes in this sector, because when you engage a child in doing something which is new, of which the parent has never done, the parent will learn, even though he's reluctant to do that thing. But through the child's effort, the parent will learn from the child. So another thing we do before planting trees, you need to know why you're doing that thing first. Before you start something, you need to know what you're doing. So when you are outside the field, you know what you're going to do. You are not just going because you're being sent, but you know what you're going to do. So it bitters me when I'm in the field and I find someone just doing something and saying that I'm just doing it because I'm being said. Like, you have not done it through your heart. And if you do it because you're being sent to do it, and that's not good. And also this issue of cutting down trees is not nice, because these trees are serving a very huge importance to us humans, because the fresh air which you breathe in is coming from the trees, directly from the trees, you know that. Because we release the carbon dioxide, we get the oxygen. Yeah, and also to our wildlife animals, for the the ones which are the coastline, that's the fish, the turtles, and the sharks. Yeah, so those wild animals, the marine wild animals, they do depend on these trees in one way or another. Like for the turtles, let me say, for the turtles, there are some turtles which do go and hatch their eggs under those mangrove roots. So if we cut off all the mangrove roots, the turtles will suffer, because they won't be having somewhere to nest. And let's also most of how it helps us humans, the trees. If you have been based on the coastline, there is these activities which have engaged the communities, of course, because you can't take the community and tell them, like, let's go and start planting trees, and yet they won't benefit something from there, financially. So we need to look for a project which we should engage them, so that it can give them the energy to do the planting of trees. So some of the projects which we engage these communities is like beekeeping, and also maybe then collecting of the seedlings, which they'll be collecting and do the potting, then they sell. That one is allowed. So For the beekeeping, most of the honey, if you've been in the coastline, most of the honey come from the mangrove trees. So that's the another way we do help the communities. So if the communities do benefit from what we have been doing, then that one gives them give us an easy way of how to protect these trees. And in that way, they also learn, or they keep in mind that if we cut these trees, we can't get something else. So they keep in mind that thing. So let's go for another thing. For the wildlife, that's the animals which are on the land. First of all, we have got the protected areas, of which are the parks, reserves, and sanctuaries and the orphanages. So those parks or those protected areas for the animals are put there for a purpose, just to protect the wildlife, because the wildlife also serves a very huge importance to us humans, mostly by creating employment and also bringing income to us. And also these animals are the ones which have just kept us going, you know. Yeah. So we have got the KWS, who are the rangers or the soldiers or the guards who protect these wildlife animals. Yeah, we know there's wildlife conflicts, which is a big issue to us humans, but we are still working on that. We are still working on that, of which mentioning of Nairobi, and also there's along the coastline, the Arabuko Sokoke forest. They also have the issue of the elephants, which are invading into the farmers' gardens by destroying their crops and other mentioned places. First thing, let me just say, for the Arabuko Sokoke, for what I have just learned from there, those animals, they are not just coming because they are coming, just because come to think of, those animals, they have the memory where they have come from. Maybe where those human beings have settled there, it was their territory some years back. Now they have remembered, they have come back, and they have found that the humans have already settled. So when they have found the humans have settled, so they need to distract. They are also fighting for their territory. But as humans, we do take it like they are just coming to invade in our own name. But at some point, we need to understand also these animals before we jump into conclusion. Yeah. So let me say about these issues, or this problem of hyenas attacking humans. That one, yeah, it's a serious scene, or there's a serious case, because I think the Kenya Wildlife Service are trying to do the research on how they'll do, or on how they'll control these animals. You know, if this animal becomes more of dangerous, you need to sit down and try. If they have tried all the methods, or all the methods which have to eradicate, or to keep them away from humans, but still they do, or they redo that thing. So they need to bring their heads together and say, now we need to do something serious here to stop these animals. But at some point, for these ones which you are saying that they are invading in someone's gardens or shambas or farms, the elephants, the monkeys, and all those animals which you have mentioned. At some point, I'm seeing that these animals, they have got the right to do, to go, because these, as from my knowledge, I know, I've learned that the animals do have the, let's say, the memory. Yeah, an easy memory of where they came from. Maybe where the place you have settled is where the animals used to stay before they were chased away. So they have just come back to their territory and they have found that you have already settled. So it is hard for that. But as time goes by, there are some mitigations which are being given by putting on some fire in the middle of your garden. If an elephant sees the fire, maybe it will be scared and goes away. Or you put the pepper, though you plant the peppers around if it sniffs or eats, or you put the beehives near your garden. Then whenever it comes along, then the bees will just chase away the elephant. There are so many mitigations which are being done, but of which those mitigations at some point they don't work because these animals are too clever. Even when you've put an electric fence, the elephants are too clever, because I've seen how elephants are doing. These guys, they have got sharp mind, and they do learn our minds at some point. Yeah. Let's go and look at the. There is this. For those, I hope there's someone who is along the Kilifi, Malindi, and they have had this scenario where there's a nuclear power plant which will be installed, I think, in how many years? 5 years, I don't know, but it will take some time. But people are still against it. For that one, even me, I'm against it because it will affect both the wildlife and the people and the environment. So for us, the people, how it will affect us health-wise, because if the radiation leak or accidentally could face severe health issues like cancer. So that thing is so let's say dangerous to us humans. So we also have to the wildlife, how this thing will affect us. It will affect the wildlife. It will disrupt the habitat, because those animals which are living inside the water, that is where, as the history I have, that they will be just draining the water from the ocean, then they use it and then they return it. It will affect the corals, the animals, the sharks, and everything which is living there. So you won't have any animal in the ocean if they try to put that nuclear plant around that place. And where they're putting it is so closer to the ocean, of which it's not good. To the environment, it will affect, because the waste usage by cooling the waters and whatever, they still say that it won't affect the ocean, but in real sense, it will affect the ocean itself. And inside the ocean, you have got some plants inside there, like the seagrass, like there's some seagrass and any plants which are inside there, so they will be affected. Not only the plants, even the animals which are in there. So for this one, it's a very risky thing, but also it can help at some point. It's advantageous, but it's more of disadvantageous. So let's look at the human wildlife conflict on how we can deal with it. For the let's start with the elephants. So for the elephants, the meetings which I've attended, that's during when I was in Rabuko Sokoke. The meetings which I have attended, mostly they are for the elephants invading into farms and destroying all the plants. And funny thing is, they are just coming when they have planted their plants, like they are almost ready to harvest. That's when the elephants come and eat all the plants. So I don't know if these elephants are really elephants or human beings. So for these ones, we try to give out the mitigations on how they'll deal with those elephants. But what we got from those angry people, they were like, no, we have tried everything which you have given us, but it's not working. So we were like, what can we do? But as for me, when I was looking at this situation and where people were living, it's not like a place where people should live. Like it's just like a place where it looks like a park, but it's people who have come. Because looking at the history of that place, it was totally a land. Let's say it was a land which animals just came freely and grazed and did everything. They always say that it's a government land, but people just came and settled there. And they were warned, they never listened. That's the first thing, they were warned, they never listened. Then when the elephants started now invading into their farms, that's when they started crying. But when they are being when they are being reminded that they were being warned, but they never listened, they now start saying that we don't care about them anymore, and of which we do care about them. There are even some people who are being chased away and they came back. So at some point, this will in this issue, it's hard to handle it. Like it's hard. I remember we were almost chased with stones because of that thing. Because when we are trying to just talk friendly with them, they say like we are not even listening to their cries, of which you are trying to give them any other thing, any other mitigation. Even you try to tell them that they should move out from that place, so that they from when they have moved out from that place, they will never see any elephant coming to their farms, but they never listen. Even right now, I think they're still fighting with that thing. But also I think for those elephants, they have just remembered where they were being, their territory, where they were, because they do walk miles and miles and miles. And for that one is Arabuko, for the Arabuko Sokoke is connected with the Savo, both Savo East and Savo West. So those elephants do travel all the way from Savo East or Savo West and come back to Arabuko, then go back. And it goes with the seasons. If there is no, if it's dry season, you can't see them in Arabuko. If it's rainy season, they'll come back to Arabuko. That's why the people are always crying that there's sometimes they are free, they don't have any crisis, but there's sometimes they do face their crisis. That's when a problem comes in. But since you can't send away a human being, and human beings, we always have, maybe they don't have somewhere to go, so we don't have anything to do. We always try our best to educate them on how they'll handle those animals, but not killing. That one is not allowed, because if you kill, that's when now you are in a hot soup, because that animal means a lot to us humans, or to the Kenya Wildlife Service. That's when it comes in. But for these other areas, I don't have any history. about how how these wildlife. Oh, for the Meru, people from Meru, I think people who are living let's say near the park. Yeah, I've heard for the Meru that you are also facing the same thing because the elephants do jump, or I don't know, they do jump or they do what? Then they go into the champa and eat everything. Then they walk slowly going back like they have done nothing. But I have heard there's this crisis where there's one elephant which was killed. Yeah, but that elephant used to distract humans very much. In the same area, that's Meru, and I heard that the community took the law into their hands. By the time the KWS arrived, they found that the elephant is down dead. And they even chased away the KWS because they were in anger. And one thing, yes, I know the KWS do have that. Whenever they hear a call, they take time to come. At some point, you never know the reasons. But some points you may say that they are reluctant, but you never know the reason. But after hearing that they were sent away, they said that they have been reporting that same issue to the KWS, but they were reluctant to come. They always never come whenever they call their help. They call for the help. That's when they took the law to their hands, and of which I think that's gave the KWS a lesson because since then I've never had any other crisis of an elephant being killed by the enemy because the KWS decided to work hand in hand with the community by whenever they have seen an elephant which have come, they always call immediately before it starts distracting, or even if it has distracted, let's say 2 to 3 farms, and it's almost going to another farm, they always call before they kill. And then after that, the KWS will come and handle it. And if it continues with the same elephant is being spotted, the only thing they do is to abduct that elephant and transport it, or it will be translocated to another park far away from that. Because if you translocate to the next park, the elephant will definitely come back because it has got the memory. And while it translocating, we have got these procedures which you do follow. Yeah, so also if we are translocated, we do close or what? Yeah, we blindfold, let's say like that. Like we don't want to see it to see where it's being translocated into, because if it sees the way, it will come back. It's better it goes when it's being, yeah, it's being blindfolded. Let me use blindfolded till where it will be, but far away. If it's from Arabuk or if it's from Meru, it will be taken, let's say, to Aberdare or to Savo. Yeah, far away from that. That's the one way of trying to solve the problem. For the hyenas, it's hard. It's hard. But at some point, even the KWS will just come across and like, this hyenas, the one which has been distracting the humans. They always don't have another choice but to kill it, just to avoid so many cases. Yeah, there's some point when you find that the same hyena was being spotted, the same hyena, like so many cases have been reported about that same hyena. So the best thing is just to kill it, or yeah, just to kill it because you can't translocate it. Yeah, you can't translocate it. For the monkeys, hey, those are human beings, you know. So for the monkeys, those are totally human beings. Even when you try to do research about the monkeys, hey, those guys are human beings. So I really don't know how to do that. How will we deal with these monkeys? Yeah, I think Emmanuel will help me with that. Yeah, because I don't know. For the monkeys, it's hard for me. Because we have tried all the mitigations, they don't work. Even if you put a statue at your farm, still the monkey will know this is statue. If you put anything, a skeleton, whatever, the monkey will know. I don't know why. But yeah, we need to do more research on this. It's hard. Emmanuel, can you help me?
I think Emmanuel dropped off.
Yes, Emmanuel muted. Yes.
Okay,
Alan is raising his hand.
anyone who has a clue, like anyone?
Emmanuel Oganda has joined the meeting, but
Okay, yeah. I need Emmanuel, I need you to help me on how can we help with this issue of the monkeys. Yeah, monkeys, because I think as for me, I don't know. It's hard.
Sorry, my network was unstable. I hope. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
yes.
So for in human wildlife conflict comes up or comes out or is seen after that negative interaction between humans and wild animals. And now for monkeys, monkeys and baboons, these are animals that are closest to man than in the wild, and controlling them is very difficult because they seem to share most of the characters. Apart from them living in the wild, they tend to be somehow human, like they have human traits. So a part of the steps or the actions that at least try to save them is includes you if you've gone to many parks or passed on major highways, we have a signage that reads "Do not feed the animals." This signage is not just a law of thought, but it's a way of encouraging now the animals to to like try to look for their food, you see. But you find that mostly when the baboons come closer to humans, they tend to give them food and they create an habit of depending on humans. Now when they depend on humans, they end up moving their habitat closer to humans and becoming stubborn in case the humans fail to provide. Now, a mitigation measure for the baboons and monkeys is ensuring that they are not fed when they are closer to humans so that they can move away, because For them, they cannot be barred by the fences. They are able to jump and come to interact with human beings. I don't know if there is someone who can add on that.
Yes, I think there's Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen, you wanted to say something? Somebody, somebody raised his hand. He wanted to talk. Who was that?
Yes, Alan.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
I think this is an amazing conversation, just talking about animals and wildlife and humans.
Oh, that's what you wanted to say?
Yeah, just actually the conversation has been going on well, but I had
All right. Mhm.
so what I've actually just listening to the conversation, what I've been able to pick out was the intensifying. For me, maybe I can talk about the human population that has expanded, which she has also mentioned that, and also as the and also if the population is expanded, that means we need human. There will be a need for human settlement, like for housing. Yeah. So some organization actually have been trying to work on this to create a more of a humane way to handle the conflict with technology like GPS, drones, satellites, just to monitor the wildlife. For me, that can be another way of even having data of how many elephants we have, how many monkeys we have in a conservation, and also matters of human conflict. Maybe the KWS not engaging well with the communities. That's what I picked up. Because if you include the communities that are near conservation, maybe even let's say we like you integrate it with blockchain, each conversation to have like a token whereby the community can also benefit from the conservation effort or even tokenizing a conservation project. So this one also can help the community also to be part of what is in the community, because most of the time you get like they can kill that elephant, that hyena, like in the case of Rongai, where you get like lions just go out at night and then eat dogs. So maybe community engagement also, like not just going to a community talking, like even making them like come into this project by tokens. Then these tokens also moreover will help enable even maintain the biodiversity, because you cannot chase animals away. Even feeding animal is okay, because it's a part of a biosystem where we depend on the entire pyramid. So for that's what I've picked up, and my question maybe can my question to the team is, can the integration of blockchain technology, wildlife tracking system, and carbon credits create a sustainable model, maybe to model that can reduce human wildlife conflict while promoting the biodiversity conservation and addressing climate change at the same time, to come up maybe with an integrated approach. So yeah, let me type it to the chat.
Well, Alan, the answer to that question is yes, yes, and yes, because there are about 4 questions in one. The blockchain, first of all, is let's say the tokens themselves. They represent the economic value being produced by every individual. And this human animal conflict comes when there's absence of representation of value that each human being is producing. So if you're doing work and that work is represented in the market, then you're not going to be encroaching into the animal environment. So blockchain helps us to resolve that question 100%. But of course, before blockchain can do that, see, like the actual token, before it can do that, we have to get the actual token in the hands of all the people. And so that's one question. Then, of course, the GPS, that's for tracking systems. Those are advanced, even AI, artificial intelligence, figuring out the movements of these animals so you can know where they are. And, so just using big data, we can actually predict where they're going to go. I think what was happening before all this technology came along, animals were just showing up at your doorstep. So like what I was saying in Laikipia, animals, you would wake up one morning and you find that elephants have been traveling the whole night and they have arrived at your place. I think today, with the technologies, you can have signaling systems that will warn people that the elephants are on the move and they're coming, just like the way we have weather people giving us the weather report, telling us, except today, expect clouds, gonna be a shiny day. Yeah, no need to carry umbrella. So you can actually predict the weather. So such systems are going to be possible, particularly with the blockchain and AI and data systems that are able to locate movements of wildlife. And I think that's really important because that movement, people can become aware. And then when we can track movements of animals, then we don't have, people would be pre-warned from settling places that are on the pathway for the animals. As as she told us, our guest speaker today said, the animals usually, when they come to your place, they are not coming to your place, they are actually coming home. They are returning home. Because animals live on migration, moving from this place after they follow green pastures, they follow food. So in one season, in a certain place, then in another season, they come back. But when that season can be, those cycles of movement can take a year or 2 years, sometimes even 3 or 4 years. So in 4 years, people have come in and settled, and the animals were away. But then they're settled there, they are very nice, they have planted their potatoes and corn and sugarcane, and then boom, the animals show back again where they used to live, and they say, what happened? Humans happened. The other animals, they're called humans. Humans happened. So it is like these movements of animals, we don't have data where animals go, where they come from. And that's why we settle along their pathway, any which way, without caring. But I think technology is going to help us a lot. Now, feeding monkeys. See, I lived in Karen, and there are two populations in Karen. One population is population of settlers. It's like white people who came there to settle in the colonial days. They are still there, plus their grandchildren. And particularly, throughout Karen, through several of our neighbors there in the east side of Karen, next to Multimedia University, there was lots of monkeys. Let me tell you what white people do. When monkeys come, first of all, with these European stock settlers, they live in Karen. They go to the market and buy a bunch of fruits, all kinds of fruits, potatoes. What am I talking about? No, they buy oranges, bananas, and pumpkins, all kinds of fruits. When they're buying fruits, you are thinking they're buying fruits for their children. No. They buy fruits. When they come home, these monkeys usually they show up at a certain hour. They sit down and give those fruits to the monkeys. So the monkeys are going to come into people's homesteads. Yeah, whether we like it or not. Because there are people there who are actually actively feeding those monkeys when they show up. And the monkeys as the manual said, monkeys are going to love it, coming back all along all the time. But you know why all these white settlers do this? Is because they attract their friends, the visitors from Europe. For example, if the European guy sitting who lives, say, in Karen, he's going to be telling people, "Oh, I live among people here in England or say Netherlands. I live among monkeys. Come and visit me." So when they come to visit their friends and they are feeding their monkeys together. They have a big story to go and tell back home in Netherlands or Norway. Yeah. Now that is serious stuff. And they don't just attract their relatives, the neighbors, they attract even superstars like movie stars. Because now on our next door neighbor was a Canadian guy. What was his name? Mr. Smith. He used to get guests from Hollywood, people like Angelina Jolie, in that class of people. That's the movie stars. They come to his house. The guy is Canadian, so he lives. He was born in Canada, but he lives now in Karen, and he has a lot of visitors coming from United States and Canada, and they're coming in to see, his coexistence with monkeys and other animals, because not just monkeys that he has. So because of him and his shamba, then we had so many monkeys coming to our place, so many. And then you cannot keep anything even outside. So you can't even keep your garbage down. If whatever your kitchen garbage that or the potato peelings, whatever you're doing, throwing out garbage and putting it out there in a trash containers. Monkeys come in the afternoon and they open all those containers and you fight. They have been rummaging through the trash. It's really, really annoying. Yeah. And how do you deal with that? So I mean, that place in Karen was monkeys' habitat, so you should not complain. But now, what I would ask Emmanuel, what would you say about those people who are feeding monkeys fruits and giving them nice to taste when they come to their homes?
Yeah, so I appreciate how you have tackled the conversation about monkeys. You know, one of the most critical species to control or to conserve is the monkey and the baboons, because now of the way you have put it, you see, because some people will try to feed them as a way of seeing like they are maybe offering a helping hand to the animals, or trying to create their place to be what name should I use?
Use the word epicenter.
Like to
That's like a tourist
yeah
attraction, because those people
like a tourist.
They attract tourists. A lot of tourists come from all over the world to come and see monkeys in their homestead.
Yeah, and you see, Karen is a very good place. But now see the ripple effect that comes with the feeding now, because the monkeys will not spend the whole time in those maybe, let me say, residences. They will also move. So when they are moving, they end up in places that people don't have food, and the little they have, you find that these monkeys, they are very funny. They have mastered the skills even of opening windows, of opening doors. Like you can find them even inside your kitchen, not even outside in your garbage, even inside the kitchen. So now the conflict rises when now the monkeys have landed in the homesteads of those people who did not intend to host them, you see.
Yeah, and they come in as a gang. I can tell you that they have entered my house, and they open windows. Yeah, they open windows and they get in. So one day we went to Nyeri and we drove back. We bought quite a bit of nice pumpkins in Kirinyaga. See?
Yes.
About five large sized pumpkins. So we came and put them in the pantry room next to the kitchen. And then there was bananas. This when you go to the village, you come with all the kind of niceties you get in the village. Bananas, pumpkins, and what. That was on a Friday. Then on Saturday, I was alone at home, and I slept because I was tired. The monkeys come into the kitchen. I actually thought that people have come now back from wherever they went. No, but there were monkeys. It was not one, there were about 10 monkeys inside the house eating those bananas and pumpkins and what. And these monkeys move as a team. They don't go, a monkey doesn't go alone. It's going to be coming with its own platoon, particularly the baboon and some marmosets, and very, very nasty. And they mess everything. And you know what they do? Is that they, first of all, to annoy you, they're inside the house, they sit on the sofa and poop there first and urinate. They urinate and poop. And the whole thing stinks so bad. And then they poop on the stairs. It's like they're marking their territory with their urine. They urinate on the steps and they poop on the steps. So you have to really use some serious detergent to get rid of that smell in the house and clean up the house. Yeah. And now, another thing they do, very disgusting, is that if now you have closed and there's no food to be seen out where all the windows are well closed, they jump on the roof. And they're playing on the roof the whole day. Yeah. So now you have to say, who is the invader? Is it the monkey? Or is it us who are living in houses there? And the monkeys are running in the roof from one side to the other. If you're trying to take a nap because you want to relax, then the monkeys just show up and start dancing on your roof. You're wondering what's going on. Now, imagine you're collecting that roof water, for rainwater harvesting. And these monkeys are shameless. They're going to poop on your roof. So the rainwater harvesting, the rainwater will be coming with monkey monkey excrement. That's really what is going on. Yeah, there's someone here who talked to us about a few weeks ago and told us monkeys are afraid of sound. That if you, and I want to ask you, Emmanuel, if you explode a firework, monkeys are going to run away. Is that the truth?
Yeah, they will run away because, for example, in the wild, I'm a professional safari guide.
Yeah.
And usually when we have visitors in the parks, you find that we have, for example, in the camps,
yeah,
you'll find that monkeys, they are very much aware when guests come in. So they will usually try to hang around and try to salvage anything that is edible.
Yeah.
So mostly you find that the rubber bullets are used to scare them away.
Yeah.
Or trying to hit something that will emit noise, you see.
Like an explosion or some explosive.
Yeah, an explosion. So that works.
Mm-hmm.
But now the problem is that you will chase them away and they will stay like for 30 minutes and they will be back.
Oh, so you have to keep the explosive every 30 minutes.
So you have to keep repeating the same formula until now the safari is over, or they are usually stubborn. First, when they meet ladies, they don't respect ladies.
I know,
if there is no gentleman there, they can create a lot of trouble. But in order for us to understand these monkeys and their relationship to humans, are you getting me? We have to understand something called biodiversity.
Yes.
And biodiversity, this is the different kinds of life you find in an area.
Yeah.
Now, for example, you see Karen, you see when you travel along Nairobi-Nakuru Highway, we have a place called Gilgil.
Yes.
In Gilgil, you will find the baboons, the the baboons along the road? Why are they there? Can you try to think about it? Why are they there along the road and not inside the conservancy? Why did they choose to be along the road?
People give them nice things when they're on the road, maybe through the windows of
Yes.
their cars, I imagine.
Yeah, yes. Now in biodiversity, all these life in Earth, they join together to form something like a web, and a complicated web that is used to maintain balance and for our life, everything. Now that includes humans, includes wildlife, to be supported in this world. Now for the monkeys and baboons, they are very important in Karen. Many people may not know why they are there, but it's because they have been brought up. I can say brought up because the humans there, they have put them to have another habit. Now it's like evolving to be dependent on humans. Now that dependency on humans is what is creating now the is becoming a nuisance, because not everybody, not every human loves monkeys. Even though the whites may love keeping them at their places, you find that not everybody will like having them around them, and that is what now creates the conflict. And some of the things that have been used to is one of them that you have said, that is chasing them away or scaring them away. And we have others that include trapping. You have seen being trapped and the people start laughing at them, or maybe they become shot dead. Or also one of the most that I can advocate for in the cities, or somewhere where you feel like monkeys can be closer to humans, that is storing refuse properly. If it is outside, you can make cages for your waste, so that when these animals come around or come closer to the settlements, they are not able to access this food that brings them closer. And with the time, when they notice that they are getting nothing, they tend to they tend to move away to other places, and that can save on controlling conflict between humans and the
Okay. Well, that's a big conversation about monkey, but thank you so much, because what I found is even you say, for example, you can protect everything in your household, but then they come to play in your roof. I think it's like to mock you. They are just becoming a nuisance. And you see, they jump on trees and then they fall down on the roof. You might think the roof is collapsing. It's as if they have been trained. This one does not give us food. Let us go and mess him up. Mess him. Yeah, so monkeys are really, like say they are very close to humans in their thinking. Anyway, I think this is a great conversation, and it's with to be continued also in the summit, because in the summit we are going to have a workshop on environment, and we would love you guys to be there, and so that we can advance this conversation. The real question we're asking in Actuate is, how can we use the blockchain and decentralized finance and artificial intelligence to solve this human-animal conflict? And I believe that even say, you see, like that population in Karen, there are people who have money. And I think we have two competing visions. We have the vision of those people who want to attract tourists in their homesteads by feeding monkeys. And then we have people who really want nothing to do with monkeys. And I think the thing is, if you don't want anything to do with monkeys, don't stay there. why would you stay there and the monkeys are going to be playing in your roof? Yeah, because they're going to be attracted by those foreigners who are looking for, I think they're looking for a way to make a lot of money by getting foreign tourists. See, that is quite close to the Giraffe Center as well. So the Giraffe Center is created for attracting foreigners who want to come and see giraffe at close quarters. So the Giraffe Center is next to 125 acres of rangeland, you could say, where the giraffes walk about. And then in the morning they bring them close to the Giraffe Center, where there's a restaurant where you can feed giraffe as you're having your breakfast, and you're feeding giraffe as well. So I think the European stock, say the white people in Karen, find that very fascinating, because it also brings them a lot of money, because people come from all over the world to visit the Giraffe Center. And I think what we are saying is that it's possible to coexist, find a way of coexisting with those animals, so that you have economic value in your coexistence. And I think that's what us Africans have not come to the point of understanding. So you see people coexisting with monkeys, and then they are drawing a huge economic value out of the monkeys. And instead of them planting crops, which the monkeys come to destroy, is that they use that monkeys to make money by attracting tourists. You see, but this means that we would have people that we can call in to come and visit our homestead, to come and live together with monkeys, and pay some money for that experience. But I think what you were saying earlier, that when you're talking about mangrove, and I think that's a good example, adding economic elements to, say, the environment conservation. Planting trees or planting the mangrove trees now becomes a host for bees. And so you combine beekeeping with planting mangrove trees. And that means that the mangrove people are not just planting mangroves for the sake of mangroves, but they are planting mangroves for the sake of the economic value. And I think that's what the people in Karen are doing with monkeys. They bring monkeys to their homesteads for the sake of earning money from those monkeys being in their homestead. They're not feeding the monkeys for the sake of feeding monkeys, So one question I wanted to ask, the turtles, the turtle eggs. It says turtles lay eggs in the mangrove, roots of the mangrove trees.
Oh no, actually, the turtles do lay their eggs on the sand.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do lay their eggs on the sand. Then when the eggs have been hatched,
yeah,
those hatchlings, when when the turtle has laid his eggs or her eggs, the turtle has laid its eggs on the sand. It stays there. The incubation period is around 60 days, depending on the temperatures. If they are high temperatures, it will be minus 60, and if they are low temperatures, it will be plus 60. So it may take even 80 days. So when the hatchlings have been hatched, because when they're being hatched, there is no the mother is not there, so they'll be on their own. Now here is where the mangroves come in. When the turtles have just been they have emerged from the sand, and now they are making their way into the ocean. They do face so many challenges because they don't have any protection. They are being eaten by the big fish, the sharks, even the crabs. So for the surviving one, the funny thing about these hatchlings, only out of 1,000, only one survive to adulthood. And that one turtle and that one hatchling goes to survive under the mangrove trees. The mangrove roots. In those roots, it's like a shelter to that hatchling. So under that mangrove, if you have seen a mangrove roots, how they are spreaded, and how they are so closer, which will protect the big fish or the shark. It won't come to attack because it will be stuck.
Yeah, because it's like a meshwork of roots. The roots are from a mesh. It's like a mesh house.
Yeah.
So, question I wanted to ask about the turtles now. So human beings, they want something that's going to put money in their pockets. What does turtle produce that humans can sell to other humans to make money?
Okay, for the turtles,
Yeah. Do they those eggs they lay can they be sold in the market?
okay, for the turtles, there is nothing to be sold because if you are caught with anything dealing with the turtle, if it's either the meat or the scales, the shell, that's illegal.
Or is protected species?
Yeah, it's the among the endangered species, by the way.
Oh yeah. But turtles, do they produce oysters?
No,
Or
they don't.
where do oysters come from?
Oysters are that's another animal. Now you are saying that's
Oh.
a different animal.
So turtles are totally protected species because of
Yeah,
their endangered species.
yeah, they are endangered species, and of which we have got 5 types in Kenya. Yeah, we have got 5 types in Kenya, of which one type always migrates. It comes with the seasons, so it's not really found, and it's not really seen.
Why is it that turtles are not survivalist? I mean, only after 1,000 chicks, only one are going to survive.
Yeah, only one.
They should ask humans how to survive and multiply. Go forth and multiply.
Okay, whenever the mother lays eggs, let's say from 100 to 200 eggs. So after or also you can find it depends with the age. If the mother is, let's say, a girl, a small girl will always lay, let's say, eggs which are ranging from 100, 200 to 300. As she grows, the eggs are multiplying. Then as she gets older, the eggs now are now reducing. It's a vice versa. Yeah. So the reason as to why I'm saying that 1 out of 1,000 survives, it's because they have got so many enemies. Starting from
they're delicious. Is it they're so delicious to eat?
okay. Let me not advise you not to get look for them.
I mean,
So,
how can they have so many predators? They must taste very good for different type of predators.
okay, there's this species, only one species edible, but don't go and poach them. So only one species edible, that's a green turtle. So for the green turtle, it's named after the food which is taking. That's the seagrass and the seaweeds.
Yeah.
So that green turtle, it has got, yes, from the poachers I've had, they're saying it's having a sweet meat. And also the oil, they have got there's the turtle oil, if you have had something like that. It's also medicinal. I've heard it helps mothers who have complications with pregnancy. I think during pregnancy, that oil helps a lot, and also helps the child.
And that oil is extracted after cooking the turtle. The turtle has to be dead to produce that oil.
Yeah.
Okay, human beings cannot get that oil by, say, extracting it from a live turtle.
I know. So they always poach them like, okay, they have these turtles. They, I think, most of the turtles are being killed for meat, mostly around the coast. And also, the oil is so expensive. Like whenever you go, you can get the small jar with 1,000 bob because getting that, it's so hard, but it's illegal.
The turtle oil is illegal.
These species are endangered species, and they are threatened to the with the surrounding, because only one survive. If all the turtles are being killed, which one will our ocean won't be? These turtles are the ones which are making our ocean look clean, first of all. If there are no green turtles, there will be a large population of seagrass and seaweed in the ocean. So for those who are diverse and whatever, what are you going to see down there if you want to see other creatures? And there's a lot of seagrass and seaweed. You won't see clearly. But
Yeah,
these
because
turtles are helping us to remove or to clear off some. If they are not there, we can't have. Then we have got also there's this turtle which is also in critically endangered. That is the hawksbill. So for the hawksbill is being poached mostly for its shell.
yeah.
So for the shell, if you look at that shell, you'll be tempted to to kill that turtle because that shell looks beautiful, and it's also that shell they use it to make these sunglasses, bangles, bracelets, and everything. And also, so also that's why they are also critically endangered species. But you can't eat the meat because the turtle, that oxbill turtle, they do consume the sponges, which are poisonous. So the meat is already poison. Even the predator, if whenever the predator eats that turtle, consumes the meat, it will die of definitely because the meat already is poisoned.
Okay.
So that one is also it's just killed for its shell only.
Well, this is very important. So beware Malidi dishes. Malidi dishes. Now, if in Malidi dishes, I hear a term like that, but I don't know exactly what it is. You can find turtle oil or turtle meat for the green turtle.
No, you can't. That one you can't.
What about carnivore restaurants?
You
Let me
can't.
assist.
Yeah.
Let me assist. Let me assist through the little bit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
So, in marine life or the aquatic environment, we have very many animals, and human beings have been able to identify or name just a few of the total number of life in the marine ecosystem. And the turtles are among the animals that are critically endangered. Their population is really dwindling because of now the poaching. Poachers. Most of the poaching that takes place is done by humans. And why do they do this? Number one, the turtles, they have aesthetic value. Like by looking at them as a tourist, you just feel good. So these people who live along the coastlines where these turtles are found, like in Watamu, they are usually paid when they catch the turtles and they sell them to other countries. For example, the Middle East is known for acquiring African wildlife and now diverting the tourists. Like, for example, tourists who are meant to come to the Kenyan coast, they can now enjoy the, their coasts because now these animals, they have been taken there. And apart from the aesthetic value, now what Ruth is talking about, the food now, the food part, you see, now the communities that live in these areas, they tend to hunt these turtles for food, as she has talked about the green turtle. But the government, even though the government that the government doesn't know, even though the government knows that these animals, they are being eaten by these local communities, sometimes they just give a blind eye. That is when, if the population of this animal is is stable, but currently the population is not stable. That's why you see many volunteer projects, many government and non-governmental organizations coming up together that the turtles are conserved. For example, the WWN, we have the Kenya Wildlife Service. We have others like Watamu Sea Turtle Watch. These are organizations that are working 24 hours each day to ensure that the demand or the craving for these endangered species is controlled, because we as humans would need the turtles for aesthetic values. We have people who have them at their homes, who like you said earlier, they usually divert their tourists to their places so that they can get that source of income. Or we have others who need them for food, or even others hunting them maybe to make if it is the ornaments, you see the shell, maybe they split the shell to make curios. So for that reason, like carnival, the carnival. When you go to carnival, mostly when I've taken my guests there, we have ate crocodile meat, succulent piece of meat. You can go there and visit and try to taste. We also have the ostrich. You see their numbers; they are not that bad. So the government has allowed for is something called game meat to take place in this country. So when you go to carnival, you will find a lot of species that have been allowed, but for the ones that are endangered, is the possibility of finding them there is tricky. But sometimes, if you give good money, in Kenya, sometimes, most of the time, things are not that hard when you have good money.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you so much for that clarification. So, you have carnival restaurant in Mombasa?
It's in Nairobi. It's in Nairobi, Langata.
Okay, that's Langata. I know that one. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I think we have talked quite a bit, but I think this is a great conversation. So there's a lot to talk about. Why don't we say we all meet in the summit and we do we do more of this conversation, because really, putting in terms of conserving those endangered species, very important. You know what's going on now is that a lot of these species that are endangered, they don't benefit our people. As you have said, they are foreigners. Either they're being taken by, they're being taken by Europeans, they're going to Europe, or they're going to the Middle East, or they're going to Asia, China and Japan, even South Korea. There's a lot of those because our people are very subsistence, and eventually they don't get the value of all this wildlife that is in the country. We don't get the value. As I said, Europeans who are in current, they get a lot of money out of those monkeys, while Kenyans who are in current get nothing. They just get market droppings on their roof or in their houses. See? So we need to figure out how to redress this equation so that even you can participate in the conservation as the conservation is bringing the money into the pockets of our people. And I believe the solution to that is on the blockchain, as Alan said in the beginning. So I want to give, so I think now we are about 41 minutes almost after the hour. After the hour we had for this meeting. So back to you, Linda. Thank you so much, Linda, for inviting Ruth and Emmanuel to come and share their experiences. Yes, back to you, Becca.
Linda dropped off, so I
She
think
did.
I'm going to close the meeting. Yeah, so this has been an interesting conversation. Speaking of monkeys, I think we had real trouble at Magadi Road because for women, they used to be, we used to find gangs of monkeys there and they would snatch your purses. Yeah, and then run away with them. So you could not carry something important, even like a laptop going to work. So yeah, Thank you to our speakers, and thank you, Dr. Macharia, for sharing your insights. I'm going to share the form, and you can fill before we leave the meeting. So if there are no further comments, well, we can adjourn the meeting. Yes, so I've shared the form, and have a lovely night, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.